Hello guys, thanks for joining me again. I just want to talk about restoration druids, certain things like rotations and the effect of certain legendaries. Feel free to comment in the section below because it's always interesting to find other players and their insights because they're often very valuable. And even if you're a different class of healer, then feel free to comment below. So I want to talk about the legendary neck. The legendary neck and druids is the best combination for any other class in World of Warcraft. And you might be thinking, well, why is that? Well, it's simply because we can change into guardian form. And of course, the legendary neck, which procs a shield by the way, is based on the amount of health that you have. Now obviously this has been nerfed for tanks in patch 7.1.5. But for every other druid, whether it be feral or restoration like myself, or balance, then it's remained unchanged, surprisingly. So just to put this into perspective, instead of having a shield of 700 to 800,000 in humanoid form, in guardian form, then you would have a shield of over 1.2 million. So it's almost double the amount of absorption of any other class. So that's the reason why the Prydaz legendary neck and druid is the best combination you can get. Coupled with this, I've created a Weak Auras 2 icon, which enables me to be able to see when I can proc or when I can use that ability. Now, bearing in mind it's not ideal to be changing forms during a Mythic Keystone run, for instance, but it's always nice to have the option there, especially if you know that you're going to be incurring massive amounts of damage, or if you've got some time in your hands, it's always nice to have that just as a backup, just to protect yourself. So if you want to know how to make this Weak Auras 2 icon, if you have the legendary neck, then feel free to comment in the description below, in the comment section, sorry, and I will certainly try to figure out how I managed to do it. I really can't remember, but I'll give it a go. Next I want to talk about rotations. Now, my rotation tends to be Lifebloom, Rejuvenation, and then Germination. Germination is the talent that restoration druids choose to cast Rejuvenation twice on the same target. Now, the reason why I do that is because Lifebloom, I view Lifebloom as being less important than Rejuvenation. So because our hots are affected by the mastery and the heal over times that we have already on the target, Lifebloom is cast first. Now you might feel differently about this. You may cast Rejuvenation, Lifebloom, or you might cast Lifebloom, Rejuvenation, or maybe even Rejuvenation, Lifebloom, Rejuvenation, or I'm completely lost myself. I mean, I'd be really interested to hear your particular rotation and the reasoning behind it. Now, the reason why I asked this is because my views changed when I picked up the Dark Titan's Advice, which increases the periodic heal of Lifebloom by 200%. Now, the Dark Titan's Advice is apparently the worst restoration legendary that you can get, but I don't think it's as bad as people make out. Firstly, because an increase of 200% of the periodic bloom of Lifebloom is a huge amount. Some people have reported over 2 million heals just from that one bloom effect, and there have been some instances where the belt has actually saved the tank. One particular instance was in Nelfarian's lair with the last boss. When the boss pushes the tank away, the tank was simply out of range, and I'm certain the tank would have died, but for the periodic healing effect of the Dark Titan's Advice. Now, some people are also saying that Blizzard have something in store for this particular legendary, probably when the Tomb of Sargeras is released, because people were feeling the same way about the Amanthal, the shoulders, which was pretty useless until the Nighthold was released, in which the legendary actually showed some sort of affinity with the tier set bonus. So I'm hoping that Blizzard will have something in store for the legendary, the Waste. But I'd really like to know the kind of rotations that you guys go with, and whether the legendaries actually affect your playstyle and how it does so. I'd also like to know the Soul of the Forest and Overflowing, how healers, if you do choose Soul of the Forest, which increases the effectiveness of rejuvenation and regrowth by 200% and wild growth by 75%, how do you circumvent its use when it comes to the Overflowing debuff? I'll be really interested to find out how Restoration Druids managed to get around that, because there have been times when I've actually killed a tank by, well, it was basically when they used their own self-heal in combination with my most powerful heal, and it basically brought their health to 0, and their health was basically a full shield. So yeah, if you do use Soul of the Forest and Overflowing, do you change it when it comes to Overflowing? Do you swap Soul of the Forest out and use something else instead? I'll be really interested to know. So that's all I have to say really. Thank you once again. Until next time, I'll see you later. Goodbye.